What's up guys, it's Jughead here, just a down-to-earth guy, trying to bring you all some down-to-earth content. Welcome back to my Let's Watch Hunter x Hunter series. Today we're going to be watching episode 18, titled Big Time Interview. Now, the last episode we watched, episode 17, I said in my discussion was kind of a letdown only because the episode seemed to breeze by so quickly as opposed to the episodes just prior to it, that it just seemed like so much action and so much story was packed into that 20 minutes that it just left you overly satisfied with what you watched. But this episode, past episode 17, was kind of a letdown just with the cliffhanger it left, and you really just forgot what happened in the original part of the episode. And the only two things that happened were Kahlua fighting against the three Umori brothers and coming out on top with the badges, and then the latter half of the episode was Leorio getting trapped in the cave with Ponzu, and GON and Kurapika going after him, and all three of them, along with Ponzu, are now stuck inside the cave. And this episode, I'm assuming we're going to find out what happens to that and how they resolve that issue. So hopefully this episode is more entertaining than the last. I have my hopes up. So yeah, without any more talking, let's get into the episode. Okay, let's watch Hunter x Hunter episode 18, Big Time Interview, in 3, 2, 1. Play. Okay, so it looks as though GON got stung up by bees, which I don't remember there being. Oh no, he sucked the venom out of Leorio, so maybe he's having a reaction. And that snake charmer guy is dead. And we don't know yet if that is due to Ponzu, or do we? No, she said she killed him. Okay, so we know he's dead. Ponzu's in there, and they're trapped by vipers. Oh yeah, Bourbon is his name. He is dead. And we are very confused. Exactly. Trade secret. So he set the trap, and then he died. That's very unfortunate. Let's investigate this body. Or is he paralyzed? Oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck that. She's the one setting these traps, bruh. Ew, gross. I'm not afraid of snakes, but for some reason I'm creeped out by that. He got bit up, dude. Oh yeah, use poison to fight poison. Oh, she uses bees. Great. That's where GON looks all stung up. When a bee stings a human, the human produces antibodies to counter the venom. But if that human is stung again by the same kind of bee, they experience an allergic reaction. Yes. Getting stung by bees fucking sucks. There's no getting used to that feeling. Okay, so Bourbon was her target. Let's look at the backstory on this, because I'm very confused. Like, why did he just decide to walk in that cave? Does she have bees under her hat? Ooh, she probably made the snakes fall asleep and then killed him. And then the snakes woke up and she fucked herself over. Ah. Yep. Where does he keep all these snakes, though? Triggered my defenses to activate. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Dude, this is some complex storytelling. Man, she don't even care. How do they just go in the hat? Yeah, he's kind of dead. Can't really ask, hey, move your snakes. Oh, come on, dude. Fuck that. Couldn't GON run fast enough? Like, pew, right through them. Right through the snakes. Ah, their badges have trackers. That's true, you're lost here forever. That is not good enough. They all have powers. Let's think of something. They all have their badges. And maybe Kahlua will save the day. Oh yeah, what did he do? Oh. Yeah, let's think of a way. High chance of success. Okay, let's see this. Oh. Does he have the antidote on him? Wait, what? I'm very confused. Ooh, let's go GON. GON is the nature master. He is the animal whisperer. So, I feel like GON has this in the bag. What the fuck? Yo! What is he doing? Yeah, he has the antidote. Hell yeah. Okay, don't throw needles. The fuck? Oh yeah, he got bit. So now he needs the antidote. Don't use all of it though. And fuck Ponzu, she don't get any. Yeah, that's why we love GON. Of course, yeah, why wouldn't... If you're going to poison someone, you need the antidote. Yeah. But what if her dumbass doesn't have an antidote to her bee stings? Awesome. None of this helps. Yeah, they are really good friends. Now, they all antidote each other's. Now run through all the snakes. Ooh. Yeah, let's trade. Yeah. Yeah, but won't they fall asleep? How are they not going to fall asleep? None of this can be easy. 9 minutes and 49 seconds. Of course. I mean, he's already done all of this. Why wouldn't you trust him? Yeah, like... Why wouldn't you trust him? Does he look like a kid who's a liar? Like you? Just because you know you're untrustworthy and a piece of shit doesn't mean that everybody else is. Let's go for that record. I mean, you're wasting a few seconds here. Now, are all these snakes gonna fall asleep? There we go. Cool. Does he do it? Does he do it? Damn, he's strong as hell. What the hell? I thought he was gonna go one by one, you know? I didn't know he was gonna carry 3 motherfuckers on his back. What is this dude, like 12 or 14? I forgot how old he is. But Jesus Christ, what a G. See, he is trustworthy. What a good kid. There you go. Oh, wait. So does she still have 6 points? No. Because she has her target's badge but doesn't have her own badge anymore. But that's the fee you have to pay. This was the first guy we saw, the guy that shot that poison arrow at the first guy in the wheat field or something, in the grass. Anybody caught swapping badges? Why would that be not allowed? I mean, you got the badge. We're finally done with the exam. I think I've kept a good track of everybody who has their badges. Yes. Cool. 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 Azoka was just the G, with the guy getting 3 normal badges. How did he do it? Did he find the 2 that Kahlua threw? Hell yeah. Kahlua, I mean, LEORIO'S seen better days. Show your badges. Oh yeah. They got this feud. Not even feud or rival. It would be a rivalry. Like a healthy rivalry, I guess. Out of respect. And, camaraderie almost. Not more so out of, like, actually not liking each other, you know? Or, I guess GON doesn't like Hisoka. Since he beat him the fuck up and told him you're not worthy yet. But the day you are, I will kill you. Yeah, that is impressive. 2/3 are rookies. Oh, we're seeing these people again? Oh, we like that girl. This guy's still wearing a wig. I still don't like how that guy doesn't have a mouth. A regular, peculiar fight. So these guys are all hunters. All examiners. I'm guessing. No, you're not. We know you will. You're a good guy. Drop that shame. We're all friends here. So there's only 9 people left. 6 of them are rookies. Hisoka is first. They know. They gotta know that Hisoka and Gon have this thing.
まさかこれが最終試験かい。
全く関係ないとは言わんが、まあ参考までにちょいと質問する程度のこと。
Okay, let's learn more about this man.
まずなぜハンターになりたいのか。
Ooh, we like this first
別
question.
になりたくはないけどね。
けど、
資格を持ってるといろいろ便利だから。
True.
はあ、例えば
人を殺しても面
Ooh.
が多いしね。
なるほど。では次の質問じゃ。
Okay.
この詩以
He
外
doesn't really even care about that
一
answer.
番注目しているのは。
Gon.
99番。
ほう。
405番も捨てがたいけど、1番は彼だね。
Ooh.
いつか手合わせ願いたいな。
Hell, that's what we want. We want Kahlua versus Hisoka. Hell yeah. Who would you least want to fight?
それは405番だね。99番もそうだが。
405 was the person that I was actually able to trick him, so.
という意味では405番が1番かな。
At this moment, because he's not worthy.
ちなみに今一番戦ってみたいのはあんたなんだけど。
Ooh, what the fuck? Yo.
ご苦労じゃった。下がってよいぞ。
Rejected. So,
食えない一
he's looking at Killua because he knows he has to know he is an assassin.
だらけで毒気抜かれちゃった。
And that he doesn't want to fight Gon because there's no point in fighting Gon right now. He wants to fight him when he's worthy.
注目してるのは404番だな。見る限り一番バランスがいい。
He is the most balanced, like level-headed.
44番。
Yeah, everybody else is gonna say Hisoka.
ここでは叶わないだろう。
ゴンだね。同い年だし。戦いたくないのは53番かな。戦っても面白そうじゃないし。
So, oh, they're all just gonna fight each other straight on, I think.
いやでも目につく。405番と99番はまだ子供だ。戦うなど。
I feel like it's either gonna be a trick of you're gonna have to fight who you don't want to, or fight who you do want to. I wonder.
注目してる人。
Funny how his teammate doesn't want to fight him.
いろいろあって気になってる。
A lot has happened.
99番、403番。
Hey, he doesn't want to fight. So he's gonna have. See, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna have to fight your friends and the people you don't want to fight. Or I'm completely wrong. Yeah. What if Hisoka has to fight everybody?
注目しているのはいい意味で405番、悪い意味で44番。理由があれば誰とでも戦うし、なくて
Ooh.
も誰とも争いたくはない。
See, this is why we love Kurapika. He'll fight anybody, but he doesn't want to fight anybody. All nice guys.
思ったより偏ったの。
Yeah, everybody was either saying Gon or Hisoka. I like how even that little simple questionnaire really showed everybody's personalities. That was cool.
これでよし。
They all fighting.
待たせたの。組み合わせができたぞい。
Oh, they're doing the brackets.
これを。会長。これ本気ですか。
They're just gonna be fighting each other like the Dragon Ball tournaments.
確かに本気の目ですな。
本気の目なんだ。あれ。
これで勝てば晴れてハンターの仲間入りじゃ。
Oh. If you win, you're a hunter. What if you lose? Do you keep having to go? Do you keep having to be
予
tested?
知試験中に何かあった
Oh yeah. See, Kurapika's the wise one. He knows that something
し
happened.
た時に様子が少しおかしかったのが気になってな。
Just let it out.
ゼビル島を出てからも気持ちが塞いでい
You
た
can vent to Kurapika.
俺のターゲット、密かだったんだ。 隙を見て一度はプレートを奪ったんだけど、俺も他のやつにつけられてて毒矢にやられたんだ。
Oh yeah, Gon's gotten poisoned twice on this island.
その後密かがそいつから奪い返した自分のプレートを俺に置いてったんだ。貸しだとか言って。
密かが
いらないって言ったらぶっ飛ばされて。
Ow.
今みたいに僕の顔に一発
Ooh. What if Gon can punch him? What if they're gonna fight and they can do it?
すごく悔しくて悔しくて。
I feel like Gon has a lot more growing to do. Yeah, see, he's very emotional. Yeah, I feel for Gon heavy. I said that in that previous episode when it all happened, how much I feel for Gon. Just put your arm around him, man. Just, you know.
そしたらその後無性に情けなくて寂しくなってさ。
Miserable
あ
and
まり
lonely.
にも自分の力が不足
But then he helped, so he felt good again.
誰かのそばにいて誰かの役に立ちたくなる。
There you go. Exactly.
それで二人を探し回ってたんだ。
God, Gon is so awesome.
私もレオリオもお前がいたからここまで来られたんだぞ。本当に感謝している。
I love these characters. God.
俺の方こそありがとう。
This music just elevates it too. God, we love these people.
仲間との絆を深めたゴン。そして
His friends.
残った受験者9名はいよいよ最終試
Yeah,
験
it is nice that out of 9 people, 4 of them are all friends. So let's discuss. First of all, I find it funny, but even more interesting to think how last episode I was left pretty disappointed by the lack of anything that really happened, or more so, just the feeling that the episodes seemed to breeze by, like I was waiting for something to finally happen and make the episode worthwhile, and it just didn't happen. But when you have this episode, where one could argue just as much or little took place, but I think this just highlights that what does happen and how it happens is important. And the art of the storytelling and the development of that story and those characters within it. Last episode was strictly action to me, seeing Killua take on 3 adversaries at once. But that was really all. Like, no character development really attached to him or the event that took place. And then the cliffhanger of Leorio finding Ponzu, getting trapped in a cave, and Gon and Kurapika trying to save him, but they all get trapped and Leorio is dying, and then the episode ends there. Whereas this episode, the majority of the watch time is inside the cave, but everything that happened in the cave between the characters and the actions they take were all important and drove the character development. Let alone the ending of the episode was like simply emotional, and that's just down to great dialogue between the characters you've become attached to. So let me just recap the episodes and I'll explain more as I go on to try and make more sense here, because I don't want to talk out of order. So we actually get told what the hell actually happened inside the cave that brought about this complicated, confusing predicament they all found themselves in, which is nice because I had no idea how that mess could have unraveled that we were seeing. But I'm going to try and get this correct. So, Bourbon, the snake charmer guy, I know his name, originally walked into the cave first, and then he set his snake trap for those that would come after him. Bourbon was Ponzu's target, so naturally Ponzu goes after him, tracking him to this cave. Being a trap expert herself with all of these gadgets of hers, she sets a sleeping gas trap inside the cave that goes off, releasing the gas from, like, she said she didn't put it inside the cave, just kind of like just outside the cave, so the gas releases from just outside the cave. This causes Bourbon It's either Bourbon, I don't know. Bourbon to fall asleep, but not all of the snakes hiding in the nooks and crannies of the cave get affected by the gas. So as she runs into the cave, the snakes are still alive or still awake, so she gets trapped and can't exit. Turns out she specializes in poison. Somehow her hat is like a beehive or something, and it just holds a shit ton of bees that she is also somehow able to command to sting her foes should she either collapse or scream. So Ponzu accidentally killed Bourbon from the bee stings as he went into anaphylactic shock. Ponzu tried to warn Leorio about the trap, but he was attacked by the snakes anyways when he screamed out for Gon for Gon and Kurapika. So Gon and Kurapika entered, and that's where we find them now. Just an absolute mess of a situation to say the least. Like, goddamn, nothing's going right for anybody right now. So Ponzu, sitting in her corner, has just given up because she can't come up with a plan to save herself or the rest of them. She just thinks it's hopeless. So might as well just count your losses, get eliminated from the exam, and wait to be found by the committee using the tracking devices that's inside everybody's badges. But that ain't good enough for our crew, obviously. Good. No way are they not only going to be getting eliminated from the exam, but they're not just going to sit around as Leorio is on the ground dying in need of help. So Gon and Kurapika are on the same wavelength. I really like their dynamic. Gon and Kurapika, you don't really get a lot of it, but the dynamic they do have is very subtle. It's almost not always in words, but in like the very subtlest of actions, like right here. They're both smart, and it's great seeing Gon be able to match Kurapika's intelligence with his common sense. Kurapika's inner monologue to himself that there is a high probability of a certain plan working, although it is incredibly risky, and a high probability still yields the chance of a failure. Just as Kurapika thinks of this plan, Gon stands up, tells Kurapika to watch after Leorio because he has the same plan, almost as though he read Kurapika's mind. Gon stands up, walks over to Bourbon, and Gon decides to take matters into his own hands, and like the brave, fearless kid he is, sacrifices himself by grabbing onto Bourbon to search his body, effectively getting swarmed by all the vipers, but he manages to find the antidote of medicine after enduring all of that. So, in doing so, he is able to save Leorio and save himself as well. But had he not done that, Leorio would have likely died, or worse, him as well if there was no antidote. But someone had to at least try to find out, and he was the one willing to take that risk and make that sacrifice. And after he throws it to Kurapika, which okay, let's not go throwing fucking glass bottles around and throwing needles, okay? Bruh. But after giving it to Kurapika, he directs Kurapika to quickly use it on Leorio to save him. He isn't even concerned with his own health or survival in that moment. He just wants to make sure Leorio is okay. Ponzu is still just sitting in her corner, amazed and shocked, because she was too afraid to do anything at all, and therefore too quick to just give up and accept failure, whereas Gon would not accept any of that, and without hesitation did what he needed to do in order to survive. Gon's just built different, he's a different breed. Kurapika and Gon had the same idea, like I said. Kurapika knew the odds were in their favor, that Bourbon would have likely had an antidote on him. Though it's interesting to think, what if Gon even considered the probability or logistics behind it? Or if he just went for it, oh, maybe he has the antidote, let's go. And he didn't, if he even thought about the logistics behind it. Or if he just went for it because he knew that's what he had to do. But it makes sense for Bourbon to have an antidote on him. Why wouldn't he? That would be pretty stupid. What if he accidentally got bit by his own snakes or needed it for someone else? Or, of course, you would use it as a bargaining chip. Even Kurapika said, if you're going to poison someone, the antidote is the perfect bargaining chip to get whatever you want. That person would give up anything and everything if it meant surviving. Though perhaps Ponzu, the reason why she's so shocked is perhaps Ponzu didn't think of that herself, and she doesn't even have an antidote for herself against her bees or whatever. Not smart. So, just this scene alone, you can use to compare to the previous episode or any other scenes throughout the show. Like, this first half of the episode exposes such a great deal of character development and progressive storytelling. The amount of courage it took Gon to do that. You learn just how selfless he is, how naturally a good person he is, and how much he just wants to help, especially after that confrontation with Hisoka. When Ponzu said, "You must be really good friends," it really hits home how they all got each other's backs and that real friendships are strengthening here between our characters. But their problems aren't done here. Leorio may be like he may be stabilizing and he may be okay now, going as well, but they are still trapped inside that cave, unable to exit without being attacked by more snakes. So, as if Gon was possibly out of ideas, he asks Ponzu if she has any sleeping gas left and if she would trade it for Bourbon's badge. Gon was even able to snag Bourbon's badge while trying to find an antidote while covered in snakes getting bit up. So, Gon is so fair, he wants to trade for sleeping gas that would help everybody. Like, Ponzu should just be giving that sleeping gas away to him for free if it means like she can get out and escape. But it's not like she cares, I guess. Like, she already gave up a long time ago. Like, she didn't even bother trying to get Bourbon's badge because she wasn't willing to do for herself what Gon did for others. Like, just think about that. Gon offers the badge to Ponzu to give Ponzu 6 points because she has her own badge. She gets Bourbon's badge. She has 6 points. So she's kind of like, ooh, okay. But in exchange, if he can have the sleeping gas to put the snakes to sleep so they can all escape. Again, he's trading something that she just wants in exchange for something that benefits everybody. But Ponzu says it takes 5 minutes for the gas to spread and take effect. And obviously, the question is, who can possibly hold their breath for 5 minutes? Well, interestingly enough, apparently Gon can. His last record was like, what did he say? 9 minutes, 44 seconds? Like, of course, okay. How can anybody be surprised at this point? Is there like anything Gon can't do? Like, he's pretty much trained himself for any situation. Like, that's why I say he's like the one with nature, the one with like the world, because he just trains himself for all these like real world scenarios. That's why Gon is so amazing at coming up with these ideas and always seems to be the one coming up with ways to save the day because he is the only one actually capable of coming up with these ideas. Like, nobody else would think like he does. It would seem so illogical to think anyone can hold their breath for 5 minutes letting them escape. So why even come up with such a scenario or such an idea? Or to sacrifice to find that the antidote you don't even know the person has, just that if he does have it, then you're saved from your actions. Kurapika is very logical, so logical that he would never even think of such an illogical plan or idea because what comes to Gon's creative mind doesn't enter Kurapika's rational mind. Like, how many times has Gon come up with such crazy ideas or been the one to save the day? I'm trying to think back across 17 episodes so far, and I want you guys to list them off in the comments too because maybe I'll forget some. Because it's like, let's think. Gon is the one who found out how to kill those big ass pigs to pass that part. Gon was the one able to trick his foe in Trick Tower to win the round. Gon was the one who came up with the idea to use the weapons to break through the wall in Trick Tower to reach the bottom. Gon came up with the plan on how to steal Hisoka's badge. Now here Gon came through with these 2 ideas so far. And I'm sure I forgot some other times Gon came in clutch with his creativity too. And this bitch, Ponzu, has the nerve to say she doesn't trust him. Like, what in the hell are you talking about? You just saw this kid sacrifice himself for his friends to try and get the antidote and offered you Bourbon's badge that you need that he didn't even have to spend time getting. Again, whilst being covered in venomous snakes because of the mess she caused. If there's anybody to trust, it would be Gon. And so she agrees. She realizes, okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. So they release the gas canister and the gas spreads. Gon holds his breath. Leorio, Kurapika, and Ponzu all fall asleep, along with all the snakes inside the cave. I thought this man's was gonna go back and forth somehow, carrying everybody out of the cave one by one, but nah. This kid, like the badass he is, carries them all at once across his shoulders, running out of the cave. What a beast. Now, Gon keeps his promise and leaves Bourbon's badge with Ponzu so she can be found by the committee. But he takes her own badge as a service fee for rescuing her, and since she's gonna lose anyways and not qualify anyways for being asleep, she's not gonna need it, but Leorio does need it in order to pass, and he obviously wants his friend to pass. So he didn't necessarily trick her, but he told the truth. He didn't lie and he could trust her. Those just weren't the terms and conditions of the sale right there. Um, it was a service fee for saving her, and she can't really argue because she's asleep. So with that, the fourth phase of the exam is officially over. We can finally get off this damn island and move on. Time for everybody still alive to make their way over to the boat with their 6 points worth of badges. You need to have 6 points upon arrival, and you can't be exchanging or anything, or else you'll be disqualified. So let's go in order. We have Hisoka first. He has Jaretta's badge worth 3 points since that was his target, and then 3 random badges for a total of 6. We have Mr. Pockle, the archer, who has his own badge, and I believe the badge of the first guy we saw him paralyzed, that must have been his first target. So that's 6 points. Kahlua has his own badge and one of the Omari brothers' badges that he took, which was his target for 6 points. Gitaraker has his own badge, and Sad Headband Man's badge, we saw him kill. That's 6 points. Botorome, old man with ponytail. I've never seen him this entire time throughout the show. No idea who he is, but he has 6 points. Hanzo, the ninja guy, who has his own badge, and he also has 3 random badges. Not sure where he got those from, because I know he got at least one badge that, remember Kahlua threw 2 badges like super far away and he chased after them and he got that one. So I don't know, maybe he went after the other one and then somehow got another one. We just didn't see it. But yeah, so he got 6 points just in the same way that Hisoka got him. So they're the 2 people that actually like went super hard, try hard mode to actually get 3 random badges. So respect to them. Then Gon, Kurapika, and Leorio all arrive side by side at the last minute with their 6 points worth of badges that we know that how they all got them to finish up the total examinees. Moving on to the next and final phase. You see Kahlua look excited to see Gon, which is nice to know that he passed, since remember right before they separated off the boat, he told Gon to make sure he survives and he passes, so that they can meet each other at the end. And you see Hisoka give one of his condescending smirks over to Gon, which kind of like startles Gon a bit, because I can imagine he almost has like PTSD from him now. So at the end of the phase 4 of the exam, only 9 people have passed and are getting back on the airship. Only 9. That is insane. So back on the airship, we see all of the other hunter examinees sitting together. Examinees or examiners? Examiners sitting together. Like, so it seems like everybody's just along for the ride on this airship. Like, I didn't even know they were all on the ship as well this entire time. It makes sense though. Chairman Netero is very happy and excited to learn that 6 of the 9 people, 2/3, still competing are all rookies, which he says like never happened. So like having so many rookies come this far, usually there are no rookies at all past this point. So he says it's like only the 4th time in history that he's seen this many rookies. So who else has to be a rookie? You have Gon, Lua, and I assume Kurapika and Leorio are also rookies, so that's 4. We know Hisoka is not a rookie, right? Because I'm pretty sure he's gotten disqualified in the past for doing some shady shit. So I would therefore also bet that Gitaraker is not a rookie, so they're not. I also doubt that the old man is also a rookie. I would imagine he's been doing this for a long time. So perhaps the only 2 other possible rookies would have to be Hanzo and Paco. So we learned there was one final phase left, and only Chairman Netero knows what this final phase entails. None of the other hunters know, not even Satots, which knows what it is. So all he reveals to the other hunters is that he intends to have them participate in a rather peculiar fight. So we know they're all going to be fighting in some fashion. He first wants to talk to each of the 9 remaining applicants before the fight commences. So you know there's a connection between what he wants to talk to them about and this peculiar fight he wants them to go through. So meanwhile, while that's going on, at the same time, the trio's talking together, and we get a nice moment right here. Leorio vents about what happened on the island, calls himself pathetic, that he needed Kurapika and Gon's help doing everything during that 4th phase, and that he promises he's going to return the favor to them. And this is big because we know Leorio is very prideful and he cares a lot about his self-image and has a strong ego. Like I've always said, he's the emotionally compromised of the group. Like he's very prideful, big ego, his self-image is very important to him. So to be vulnerable like that, calling himself pathetic, apologizing and promising to make it up to them, that takes a lot. So that's what friendship does, He is comfortable around them, and he knows that this is a place of no judgment, only security, as all friendships should be. They had his back, and he's going to make sure to have theirs when the time comes. You can see he even struggles to say thank you and he looks away embarrassed, but he said that anyways because just as Gon did what he had to do, Leorio said what he had to say. So after that takes place is when Netero announces over the speakers he is going to meet with each of the applicants individually and just ask them questions like an interview, he says. Netero starts with Hisoka first, and you can see when Netero utters Hisoka's name with the speaker, Kurapika notices in his peripheral vision Gon's reaction to hearing his name spoken, and Gon reacts in an uneasy way. So Kurapika is very perceptive. He can see that something's wrong with Gon. So Gon asks if this, Hisoka asks if this interview is the final phase upon meeting with Netero and sitting down, and Netero says no, just meant to satisfy his curiosity. And he only asks Hisoka 3 questions. The first question, why do you want to become a hunter? Hisoka says he doesn't really care about becoming a hunter. He really only cares about earning the physical hunter license, as it allows for certain freedoms that ordinary citizens do not have, such as killing without consequence or punishment. Netero then asks, which of the other applicants are you keeping an eye on? And Hisoka says, which surprised me, he says number 99 is first in his mind, who is Kahlua. He also keeps an eye on Gon for obvious reasons, but Kahlua comes first in his mind. He must know Kahlua is an assassin, or he knows about his family, or he's just curious how this casual kid has made it this far, because they haven't interacted at all together. Hisoka should, there's no reason that we've seen in which Hisoka would want to keep his eye on Kahlua. Unless he's seen what Kahlua can do, or knows about the family, or has some unknown history with Kahlua, there's no reason why Hisoka should have his eye on him. But I'm curious to see what that is all about. But Hisoka says he would love to challenge Killua someday, which is what I've been saying I want so badly. Killua versus Hisoka, please. The last question Netero asks is, which of the other applicants would you least want to fight? So Hisoka says he doesn't want to fight Gon. We know this is not because he is threatened by him or anything, but because Gon is not worthy enough to fight him yet. Hisoka only likes to fight those he thinks are worthy or can match up to him. So does he think Kahlua is worthwhile and is a worthy matchup, since he said he would love to challenge him, perhaps? Or maybe just to feel him out first and see what he's all about? His answer to the second question doesn't really line up with the third question, because he said he would love to challenge him, but then in the third question he says he doesn't want to fight either of them, either Gon or Killua, but to answer the question it would have to be Gon. So he probably doesn't want to fight them, like I said, the way that I said, like they're not, wait until they're stronger and more worthy to go against him, but leave some room for interpretation, I guess. So, of course, Hisoka has to be edgy, and Hisoka does mutter under his breath that he should mention that the one he wants to fight most is Netero himself right now. Netero doesn't even pay any mind at all to this threat and simply dismisses Hisoka for the next person to come in. Like Netero is like so unfazed. He has to be so experienced and just such a master. Like he's the chairman, he has to be such a master that he doesn't even take Hisoka as a threat. And even Hisoka, when he's walking away, said he like, man, he is one sly old man. He left himself so open and dismissive that he just lost his edge. Like he wasn't even expecting that, so he didn't even react. Netero takes these same 3 questions and asks them to every remaining applicant. And I could just tell right away these questions were designed to see who he should match up with who in the fight he's going to organize for the remaining applicants, like he said there was going to be. Like, help him find out who doesn't want to fight who does want to fight who, and who's looking out for which person. Like, is he going to organize the fight around those they don't want to fight, to like face their fears or challenge them, or have them go up against those they do want to fight or are looking out for, like, oh, you asked for it, so here you go, you know? Um, I also love how these questions being asked help to perfectly convey everybody's personalities. Like, if that was directly meant, that's cool. And if not, it's like just like a subtle nod, or like if you are really looking into it, it like really showcases their personalities. Like Hisoka calmly, confidently answered each of the questions, not even hiding why he's competing and that he's a killer. That's why he's in this. We know Hisoka only likes to fight those that are worth fighting, and the fact he said he wants to challenge Killua one day shows that he thinks Killua can be someone who's worthy eventually. So you see everybody's personalities here when like each of them answer the same 3 questions. We should also keep track of everybody's answers and tally everybody's answers to see who comes out on top or who's mentioned the most. So we have Pakal. He's looking out for Kurapika because he is the most level-headed one and the only balanced one left, which I agree fully. He doesn't want to fight Hisoka as he doubts he could even defeat him. Killua was up next. Killua looks at Gon because the 2 of them are the same age. Maybe he compares himself to Gon aside from just being friends. He doesn't want to fight Pakal only because he thinks it wouldn't be a very fun fight. Perfectly encapsulates his personality. We know Killua maybe admires Gon, looks up to him, or at least compares himself to him. He does consider him a friend, but Killua has also said that the hunter's exam is boring, and he's kind of like Hisoka in that he just wants to fight people that are a challenge. So he doesn't answer the question like most people do, or he doesn't interpret the question like most people would. As most people would choose the person they don't want to fight because that person would defeat him. Like, I don't want to fight this person because they scare me. Whereas Killua and Hisoka answer the question as, I don't want to fight Pakal because it would be too easy of a fight. It would be boring. Hisoka doesn't want to fight Killua or Gon because they're not worthy enough to fight him. So Killua would be happy to fight anybody else because it would be a fun fight. So then it was the old guy. He has his eye on Hisoka. He says it's impossible not to notice him in his presence. You can't help but notice him. He says he doesn't want to fight Killua and Gon as they are still children. And even if they're capable, like they obviously are capable since they've made it this far, but he said he just couldn't bring himself to fight children, which I can understand from an old, mature, experienced, wise man such as himself. So Gitter also has his eye on Killua, just as Hisoka does. I almost anticipate the 2 of them might want to recruit Killua into their group or something. Like, Killua is a killer just like they are. They might see him as like a fitting into like whatever they have going on. Like, maybe that's why they feel like if he's worthy to fight, he's worthy to stand along beside us. But he doesn't want to fight. The old man doesn't. Gitter doesn't want to fight Hisoka, which I suppose would simply be because he doesn't want to fight his partner. Gon is next. Gon is obviously looking out for Hisoka. The 2 of them have history now. But innocent him, he doesn't want to fight his 3 friends. He'd rather choose anybody else to fight. He doesn't want to fight Kurapika, Leorio, or Killua. Hanzo is looking out for Hisoka. He thinks he's the most dangerous man of the 9 there. He is also the one he least wants to fight. Kurapika, of course, conveys his personality the strongest here, like quintessential Kurapika. He says he watches Gon for positive reasons and Hisoka for negative reasons. Like, he breaks the question down into two parts because one answer isn't even good enough. He sees things as good or bad, good or evil, positive or negative. Everything has multiple sides and facets. He said he would fight anyone given ample reason to, otherwise, he would prefer not to fight at all. He's just as Pakal said earlier, like he's the most balanced and level headed one here. The only one that doesn't want to fight, he only fights if it's the last resort. He's very wise and logical as we've come to know. He reminds me of Yone from League of Legends. I don't know if any of you have watched the two short story Spirit Blossom cinematic animations that they released a couple months ago for League about Yasuo and his brother Yone's backstory. One of them was The Path in Ionian Myth, the other was Kin of the Stained Blade, where at one point in a flashback, Yone says, I fight when I have to, not when I want to. There is always another fight. Finding it proves nothing. Same exact sentiment here. If you guys haven't watched these two animations, I highly recommend you guys go look this up on YouTube after you watch this, of course. I know a bit about League. I watch people play League. I don't even play League myself, and I still appreciated those two animations so much. They were fucking gorgeous and so captivating and so beautifully told. It was amazing. Like, I want a whole anime series after those two came out. So be sure to watch those if you haven't, but I digress. Lastly, after Kurapika was Leorio, and Leorio's looking out for Gon because he owes Gon one for saving him, and he hopes he passes the exam. So he's also hoping he doesn't have to fight Gon because he wants Gon to pass. So he asks every applicant all the questions, and Netero is surprised. Like, the results were more lopsided than he was expecting them to be, which they do sound pretty lopsided because if you just remember, like the names you only really heard were in fact Gon, Hisoka, and like even Killua. So like to specifically count, I went through them and I was like, 2 people look out for Killua, and those are Gitarocker and Hisoka. 3 people don't want to fight Killua. 4 people look out for Gon. 3 people don't want to fight Gon. 4 people look out for Hisoka. 3 people don't want to fight Hisoka. So I don't know what to do with that information. Kurapika doesn't want to fight anybody. Killua wants to fight anybody but Pakal. Gon doesn't want to fight his friends. Leorio doesn't want to fight Gon. Hisoka doesn't want to fight Gon or Kurapika or Killua, even though he's looking out for them. Pakal is keeping an eye on Kurapika. Almost everybody's keeping an eye on Hisoka and equally doesn't want to fight Hisoka. So I don't even know how you would set up a bracket for this or a series for this. But magically, Netero, with his big brain, reveals to all the other hunters that he has somehow come up with the brackets for the final phase. It appears they will all be fighting each other. Winning a single round will make that person a hunter, he says. So it has to be a very tough fight for it to end like that. And I don't even know, like, we don't even know the specifics. Literally, all we know is if you win, you become a hunter. We don't know what losing does. Is it single elimination or is there a loser's bracket? If those that win become hunters, do those that lose have to do something else? Like, do you move on and have to do something else? Like, we don't even know if this is in fact the final phase or just something in between. Like, we will have to find out. Like, if you win this fight, do you move on? Do you have, like, does phase 5 come afterwards? Like, if you win, you're a hunter, you're done. If you lose, you have to go on to phase 5 and continue. I don't even know. So we're going to have to find out. All I know is that the episode ended on such a heartwarming note. It was one of my favorite little simple moments I found in this anime thus far. Kurapika knows something is troubling Gon. We know Kurapika is very perceptive, just as he is wise, so he approaches Gon to ask him what is wrong. I think at this point in the exam and all of their relationships with each other, Gon and Kurapika are the most open about their feelings and their thoughts, don't really have an issue being vulnerable, and are the most appreciative of those with open ears to listen to them speak. And I think they respect each other for that. Kurapika asks Gon if something happened on Zevil Island, as Gon has been acting strange and different, staying quiet, unlike his usual self, and it has concerned Kurapika. Again, just a subtle but meaningful thing to convey that they show concern for each other and that they care about each other. Kurapika has always been like the adult of the group, the parenting type, even though isn't he just a teenager himself, like just around the same age as everybody else? But I suppose I don't know much about the Kurta clan if these are morals and characteristics they stressed to their members, certain teachings that they upheld, so it's kind of just like instilled in Kurapika to act this way. So Kurapika and Gon don't really interact that much with each other throughout the series so far, like let alone one on one. So I suppose it's hard when they're in the middle of a high stakes competition and find themselves separated on their own. But when they do reunite and have some downtime, they are close with each other. But it's just nice to see them bonding, seeing characters who don't usually interact getting the chance to, You would argue maybe Killua knows the most about Gon. The two are close friends and they talk the most, yet Killua isn't the one to approach Gon or ask how he's doing. It's in fact Kurapika, who has done the same for Leorio too in the past. Gon does open up and he says Hisoka was his target. Kurapika understands what Gon must have went through, and that must have been serious. Like you see, like Kurapika react like kind of surprised when he tells him that, because in order to pass, he had to get Hisoka's badge. That's no easy task. Saying he waited for the perfect time to strike, and he was actually able to steal his badge, but he got poisoned by Jiretta while trying to run away. I completely forgot Gon got poisoned once already on the island. He got poisoned by Jiretta, and then he got poisoned by all the snakes. Like, Jesus Christ, his immune system's got to be crying out for help by fucking God, Hisoka killed Jiretta, took his badge, and gave it back to Gon, leaving it with him. And Gon reveals that Hisoka told Gon that he owes Hisoka now. That when he doesn't want, that when, what am I trying to say? Oh yeah, that Gon, he doesn't want to owe anybody. Hisoka punched him in the face when he said that, and it just sent him flying. So not only was he emotionally defeated, but he was also physically defeated as well. It's because remember, he said, I'll take my badge back when you can punch me in the face like that. Gon explains how frustrated he was at himself because he couldn't do a single thing up against Hisoka, And you see Gon start to cry right in front of Kurapika because he's so upset. He's just been bottling up all that anger and that frustration, and he lets it out once Kurapika asks him. And Kurapika doesn't even say a word because he knows he doesn't even have to. They just stand there together looking out the window. Silence is sometimes better. And he knows that Gon is a strong person, and you see Gon wipes away the tears and he shows a smile, admitting how miserable and lonely he felt after that. He felt so powerless and not good enough. He wanted some company and he wanted to help somebody, so why not find his friends so maybe he could feel good again and be helpful? That's why he went looking for Kurapika and Leorio. And right there, Kurapika immediately responds by telling Gon that him and Leorio have only made it this far because of him. He is truly grateful for Gon, which makes Gon very happy, and he says thank you to Kurapika as well. Like, Gon has been more than just helpful. At times, he has carried his friends onward. If anything, he should convert those negative thoughts into positive ones. Make the best of a bad situation. If he hadn't been defeated and humiliated by Hisoka, he may not have went searching for his friends, and therefore might not have been there to save them. And not only could the two of them not have passed, Leorio could have died. Like, he literally saved a life. This was just one of those interactions meant to like just give you those warm, fuzzy feelings to contrast the sadness or the melancholy Gon was feeling, and that might have also made us feel, just sitting watching. So to convey that everything Gon went through was worth it and it ain't all bad. Kind of just one of those philosophical reminders to carry on to your own everyday life that you should take away too, that don't expect or anticipate any result in what you do, but be alert to whatever happens. Whatever happens is good. Trust in each stage in your life, celebrate it, and allow the next one to come to you effortlessly. Just sort of philosophical ideas that I try and hold within myself too and try to remember. That moment alone between Gon and Kurapika managed to like really enhance what would have otherwise been a good interlude episode going on to the next phase. I always say the dialogue in a story is what makes or breaks it. The dialogue is what drives character development and emotional attachment to the characters, and therefore the story as a whole. If you're not attached to the characters, you're not going to be attached to the story. Like, the action should always supplement and complement the dialogue. perfectly done here. No better way to bring us into the home stretch here. I know the Hunter exam is coming into an end here, and everyone says you need to get past this arc before the show actually gets really good. So I'm just appreciating these moments now. I think, what do we have? Maybe less than 10 episodes left until technically season 1 is done and the Hunter exam arc is over with. So time for everybody to fight each other, I guess, is where we're moving on to now. So that's all I got for my discussion. On to the next episode. If you enjoyed the video, leaving a like to let me know is awesome, and better yet, if you want to keep up with all future content from me, be sure to subscribe to stay in the loop. Keep the conversation going down in the comments so I can connect with you all more and build this community. You know that's the most important thing to me. Check out my Instagram for my photography and a more personal side, and follow me if you'd like. That would be awesome. Having said all that, and with that said, so long, farewell, until next time, thank you, be happy, and I hope you have a good one. Peace.